How to surround yourself with positive, challenging people in the pursuit of personal and professional growth. The relationships you nurture can either propel you forward or keep you stagnant. The people you choose to spend your time with significantly influence your mindset, motivation, and overall progress. While it's easy to gravitate towards familiar comfort, true growth requires more than just being around those who make you feel good. If you want to unlock your full potential and take your growth journey to new heights, it's essential to surround yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and hold you accountable. To surround yourself with positive, challenging people, the first step is to recognize that not all relationships will contribute to your growth. Often, we fall into the habit of staying within our comfort zones, maintaining relationships that feel easy and safe. While these relationships can be comforting, they may not be pushing us to evolve and expand our horizons. For real growth, it's essential to seek out individuals who will challenge your ideas, question your assumptions, and encourage you to think beyond what you thought was possible. One of the most important aspects of personal growth is pushing beyond your own limitations. This can be difficult to do alone, which is why having people around you who push you to stretch your boundaries is vital. The people you choose to surround yourself with should encourage you to take risks, try new things, and face your fears head on. They should ask hard questions, challenge your beliefs, and motivate you to pursue your goals, even when the path gets tough. Being surrounded by individuals who inspire you to elevate your standards helps you break free from the limitations of your comfort zone and sets the stage for long-term growth. It's important to understand that growth doesn't always happen in comfortable spaces. True development takes place when you're faced with challenges that force you to think critically, confront your fears, and adapt your mindset. Growth often arises from discomfort, and this discomfort is something that the right people in your life can help you embrace. They may encourage you to tackle difficult tasks, have uncomfortable conversations, or pursue new opportunities. By having these individuals in your circle, you gain the courage to face challenges that would otherwise seem insurmountable. Accountability is another powerful aspect of surrounding yourself with the right people. When you share your goals and dreams with individuals who genuinely care about your success, you increase the likelihood of following through with them. Having someone hold you accountable adds an extra layer of responsibility and makes it harder to procrastinate or abandon your ambitions. Whether it's a mentor, friend, or colleague, accountability partners can help you stay focused, motivated, and on track to achieving your goals. Equally important as challenge and accountability is support. Growth is not solely about being pushed beyond your limits. It's also about having a support system that provides encouragement, empathy, and guidance. The right people in your life should uplift you, celebrate your successes, and provide a source of strength when things don't go as planned. A strong support network can help you navigate the setbacks and failures that are inevitable in any growth journey. They remind you that failure is not the end, but a part of the process, encouraging you to keep going despite temporary obstacles. Diversity of thought is another essential factor in the relationships you cultivate. Surrounding yourself with people who share similar perspectives can be comfortable, but it can also limit your growth. True growth happens when you are exposed to diverse ideas, experiences, and viewpoints. When you spend time with individuals who think differently from you, it challenges your assumptions and broadens your perspective. These diverse viewpoints encourage critical thinking and creativity, helping you see problems and solutions from multiple angles. By actively engaging with people who offer different perspectives, you enhance your ability to think outside the box and approach challenges with innovative solutions. It's also crucial to evaluate the current relationships in your life. Take a moment to reflect on whether the people you spend time with are helping you grow or holding you back. Are they encouraging you to pursue your goals, or are they dragging you down with negativity, doubt, or complacency? It's often difficult to distance ourselves from toxic relationships, especially if we've known someone for a long time. But sometimes letting go is necessary for our own personal growth. Toxic relationships can drain your energy, create unnecessary stress, and keep you stuck in negative patterns. While it can be hard to make this decision, it's important to prioritize your growth and well-being. On the other hand, not all relationships that challenge you need to be confrontational or uncomfortable. It's about finding people who offer constructive criticism, honest feedback, and thoughtful guidance, not just those who push you for the sake of it. Look for relationships that allow you to thrive, those where you are respected and supported in your journey of improvement. These are the relationships that provide you with the space to grow, learn, and become the best version of yourself. Another powerful way to surround yourself with challenging individuals is by seeking out mentors and coaches. A mentor is someone who has already traveled the path you wish to take and can offer invaluable guidance, wisdom, and insight. Mentors challenge you to step up, take action, and develop your skills. Coaches, similarly, provide structure and accountability, helping you refine your approach and make consistent progress toward your goals. Having someone who believes in you and pushes you to be better can be incredibly motivating and transformative. Building the right network is a key part of your growth strategy. While it's important to be around individuals who challenge you and encourage your growth, it's also essential to make sure that you are bringing value to these relationships. To attract the right people, you must first be the kind of person others want to be around. Be supportive, be encouraging, and be ready to challenge others in a constructive way. When you show up with honesty, integrity, and commitment, you naturally attract others who are on the same path of personal development. In conclusion, surrounding yourself with positive, challenging people is essential for growth. These relationships push you to think bigger, take action, and elevate your standards. They provide the accountability, support, and diverse perspectives necessary for personal and professional development. While it may be difficult to let go of relationships that no longer serve your growth, doing so is a necessary step in ensuring that you surround yourself with individuals who truly help you reach your full potential. So, take the time to evaluate your social circle and choose relationships that inspire, challenge, and support you as you continue on your journey of growth and self-improvement. The power of small daily improvements. How to get better every day. Every new day is a fresh opportunity to make progress towards becoming the person you aspire to be. Growth, in its true form, doesn't happen overnight. It's not about instant transformations or dramatic shifts. Instead, true growth takes place in the small, consistent actions you take day by day. It's not necessary to be perfect to start improving. All you need is the willingness to take one more step forward than you did yesterday. The idea of getting better every day is not about striving for perfection. It's about making the conscious decision to improve, even in the smallest of ways. Often, we are misled by the concept of massive changes and overnight success. However, real progress comes from doing what matters, consistently and with purpose. It's about showing up for yourself even when no one else is watching, sticking to the plan, and committing to daily actions that move you closer to your goals. Real improvement comes from focusing on what really matters. Many people believe that in order to succeed, they need more time, luck, or talent. But the truth is, what you really need is a clear reason for why you want to improve, a plan to follow, and the courage to stick with it. Without these, progress remains a dream. When you commit to improving every day, you don't need more of anything else. You need the discipline to focus and act. Growth, as I mentioned, is not about dramatic, sweeping changes. Instead, it's about getting a little stronger, a little wiser, and a little more disciplined than you were yesterday. It's about taking one small, intentional step each day to build the life you want. When you take these steps, the results will follow naturally. The key is consistency. It's not about how big your progress is. It's about whether you are making progress at all. The journey may seem slow at times, but over the long haul, it will be worth it. One of the most important aspects of this daily improvement is learning to embrace discomfort. You have to be willing to stretch yourself, even when it feels hard. Many people live their lives on autopilot, simply going through the motions. They wake up, check their phones, go through their day, and call it life. But true growth doesn't happen in this state. It happens when you intentionally push yourself beyond your comfort zone, doing things that make you uncomfortable or even nervous. Comfort, while tempting, is the enemy of growth. If you want to make a real change, you need to take action that makes you feel uncertain or afraid. Whether it's having a tough conversation, running an extra mile, or waking up earlier, these are the moments that lead to real progress. It's not about the size of the goal, but about the intention behind it. Each day, ask yourself, what can I do today to make myself better than yesterday? The answer doesn't have to be huge, but it does have to challenge you. It should push you outside your comfort zone and help you move towards your goal. In the beginning, it's natural to feel resistance. Your mind and body may fight against the discomfort, and you may second-guess yourself. This is all part of the process. The brain loves predictability and safety, but growth thrives in uncertainty. You need to push through those initial doubts and trust the process. If you commit to taking that one step each day, the resistance will become easier to handle. The more you show up for yourself, the more you prove to yourself that you can do hard things. Setting goals is an essential part of this process. These goals should be challenging but achievable. They should be just hard enough to make you nervous, but not so difficult that they cause you to quit. The goal isn't to achieve perfection. It's to progress, no matter how small the steps. And it's important to be consistent with your efforts. Even if you miss a day, don't get discouraged. The key is to get back on track as soon as possible. At first, you might think that you need motivation to start. But in reality, motivation comes and goes. What matters more is discipline and consistency. By committing to small, daily goals, you will slowly transform your mindset. You will stop waiting for motivation and instead begin to rely on your ability to follow through. As you continue to improve, you will start to trust yourself more and more. You will begin to see yourself as someone who does hard things, and that belief will push you to go even further. This process of improvement also changes the way you see obstacles. Rather than viewing them as roadblocks, you will start to see them as opportunities for growth. Each challenge will become a chance to level up, to build resilience, and to improve your discipline. It's through consistent effort that you start building the life you've always wanted, brick by brick. Remember, growth isn't an event, it's a process. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. It's about showing up every day, doing what matters, and pushing your limits just a little bit further than yesterday. So, stop waiting for tomorrow. Start today. Set a goal that challenges you and commit to following through. By doing this consistently, you will begin to build a life you can be proud of, a life that reflects your efforts, your growth, and your dedication to becoming better every single day. Keep showing up, and before you know it, you'll be the person you've always wanted to become. The importance of setting challenging goals for daily growth. Every day presents a unique opportunity for self-improvement. If you want to truly grow and get better, it's crucial to stop living on autopilot and instead set daily goals that stretch your abilities. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires intentional effort and the courage to push yourself outside your comfort zone. A lot of people wake up, check their phone, and go through the day as if they're simply surviving. They get stuck in routines that feel safe, but do nothing for their personal development. This is where dissatisfaction starts to creep in. There's that quiet voice in your mind that senses something is missing. This isn't necessarily because you're ungrateful or lazy, but because you haven't been challenging yourself enough to grow. Without goals that truly push you, it's easy to get stuck in a state of complacency. One of the biggest reasons many people don't grow is because they don't actively set goals that demand more from them. Instead, they settle for what feels comfortable, even if it means staying stagnant. Whether it's in work, relationships, or health, choosing comfort over challenge is the silent killer of growth. When you allow yourself to stay in your comfort zone, you miss the opportunities to stretch your potential. True growth happens when you push yourself to do something that makes you nervous or uncomfortable. This could mean having a difficult conversation with someone, speaking up in a meeting, or even pursuing a career path that scares you. The challenge here isn't in the enormity of the task, but in stepping out of your usual patterns and taking action. It's about breaking the repetitive habits that hold you back and choosing to take a different route, one that forces you to become better. When you start setting goals that push you, you're telling yourself that you're committed to becoming a better version of yourself. It's not about grand, overwhelming actions that seem impossible at first. It's about intentionally choosing goals that stretch you, but are also achievable. These daily goals should be ones that make you feel a little nervous, but also excited because they push you outside of your usual boundaries. The first few steps are always the hardest. You'll feel resistance. You'll have moments when your brain tells you that you're not ready or that you should play it safe. These feelings of resistance are normal and part of the process. Your brain is hardwired to seek safety and predictability, and when you challenge it, it will naturally fight back. But instead of listening to those voices, you need to push through them. Growth comes from doing things that feel uncomfortable, that make you stretch beyond what you've done before. It's important not to make the mistake of trying to overhaul your life all at once. Many people make the mistake of believing that they need to make massive changes to see progress, but this is simply not the case. Trying to change everything at once often leads to burnout. Instead, the key is to take small steps every day. Choose one goal, one challenge, and focus on it consistently. When you focus on incremental improvements, you create lasting habits that lead to bigger results over time. This consistency is what sets successful people apart. It's not that they have some magic ability to succeed. It's that they've built the habit of showing up every day, even when it's tough. Over time, these small actions compound, and before you know it, you've made significant progress. This isn't just about achieving big goals, but about shifting your mindset to one that values consistency and discipline over short-term rewards. When you commit to a daily goal that pushes you, something incredible happens. You start to see changes in how you view yourself. You stop waiting for motivation to kick in because you realize that motivation isn't necessary to take action. Discipline and consistency are the true drivers of success. The more you show up and do the work, the more you prove to yourself that you can achieve your goals. You begin to trust yourself, knowing that you'll keep pushing even when things get tough. As you keep setting goals and taking action, your confidence starts to grow. This isn't just about achieving external successes, but about developing a deeper belief in your own abilities. When you realize that you are the one responsible for your growth, you stop waiting for permission or ideal circumstances. You take ownership of your journey and commit to the process of becoming better every single day. Another crucial element of this process is the way you view setbacks. When you make the decision to push yourself every day, you won't always succeed. There will be days when things don't go as planned, or when you fail. However, this is a part of the growth process. Rather than seeing setbacks as failures, start to see them as opportunities to learn and improve. Every challenge you face is a chance to gain more resilience, develop problem-solving skills, and become better prepared for the next challenge. The key to lasting growth is in how you respond to difficulties. When you embrace challenges as a normal part of life, you stop being afraid of failure. You understand that failure isn't a sign that you're not good enough. It's just part of the journey. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond to setbacks. If you quit when things get tough, you'll never see the progress you desire. But if you keep pushing through, even when it's hard, you'll continue to grow stronger and more capable. Setting daily goals that push you outside of your comfort zone also changes how you handle other aspects of your life. You'll begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles that stand in your way. This shift in perspective will impact every area of your life, from your career to your relationships to your health. When you embrace discomfort, you create a foundation for long-term success. To sum up, setting daily goals that challenge you is one of the most effective ways to improve yourself consistently. It's not about grand gestures or overnight success. It's about showing up every day and doing something that pushes you to be better than you were yesterday. When you make this a habit, you'll see lasting improvements in your confidence, mindset, and overall life satisfaction. So, every morning, ask yourself, what can I do today to be better than I was yesterday? And then take that step. It's through these small, consistent actions that you will build a life you can be proud of, overcoming resistance and building consistency for growth. When embarking on the journey of personal growth, one of the most challenging yet essential elements is pushing through the resistance that arises when you start striving for improvement. Our brains are wired to seek comfort, safety, and predictability. Therefore, when we attempt to stretch our limits and take on challenges, we often face inner resistance. The key to overcoming this resistance is building consistency and understanding that growth doesn't come easily. It requires discipline and a mindset shift. The moment you decide to take your growth seriously, you will inevitably encounter resistance. It's perfectly normal. This resistance can manifest in various forms: procrastination, self-doubt, fear of failure, or even the temptation to revert to old habits. It's important to understand that resistance is not a sign that you are on the wrong path, but rather an indicator that you are moving in the right direction. Every time you try something new or challenge yourself to grow, you will feel some discomfort. This discomfort is part of the process. It signals that you are stepping outside your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. One of the biggest reasons people fail to stick with their goals is because they allow resistance to dictate their actions. Instead of pushing through the fear or discomfort, they give in to the easy way out. It's tempting to stay in the comfort zone, where everything feels safe and predictable. But real growth happens when you step out of that zone and embrace the challenge. In the beginning, this will feel uncomfortable, and you will likely second-guess yourself. However, it's essential to understand that this discomfort is a necessary part of the growth process. Every step you take outside your comfort zone is a step toward becoming the person you want to be. A major part of overcoming resistance is developing the habit of consistency. Once you make the commitment to improve every day, you need to show up consistently even when you don't feel like it. This is where discipline comes into play. Motivation is a fleeting emotion, and waiting for it to show up is not a reliable strategy for growth. Instead, you must learn to rely on discipline and consistency to keep you on track. Motivation will come and go, but your commitment to the process should remain constant. When you commit to consistency, you begin to trust yourself. You show yourself that you are capable of following through, even when the journey gets difficult. Over time, this trust grows, and you start to see the results of your efforts. The key is to make daily progress, no matter how small. It's not about perfection. It's about showing up and doing the work day in and day out. Even when you don't see immediate results, You're building momentum that will eventually lead to significant improvements. Another important aspect of overcoming resistance is managing your expectations. When you first start out, it's easy to expect rapid results. We live in a world where instant gratification is the norm, and it's easy to get discouraged when you don't see quick improvements. However, growth takes time. It's important to set realistic expectations and understand that progress is often slow. This doesn't mean you're not making progress. It simply means that growth is a gradual process. Embrace the journey and trust that the small steps you're taking each day are adding up. A great way to stay on track and push through resistance is by setting smaller, more manageable goals. Instead of focusing solely on the end result, break your larger goals down into smaller, actionable steps. This makes the process less overwhelming and gives you something concrete to work toward each day. By focusing on one small goal at a time, you avoid the feeling of being lost in the big picture and are more likely to stay consistent. When you set small, achievable goals, you build confidence. Each time you reach a goal, no matter how small, you reinforce the belief that you can do hard things. This, in turn, makes it easier to push through the next wave of resistance. Confidence is a key driver of success, and it grows through consistency and repeated success. The more you accomplish, the more you believe in your ability to handle challenges. And this belief becomes the foundation of your future successes. As you work on building consistency and pushing through resistance, it's also important to be kind to yourself. Growth can be tough, and there will be days when you fall short of your goals or face setbacks. It's essential to avoid being overly critical when this happens. Instead, treat yourself with the same compassion that you would show a friend who was struggling. Understand that setbacks are part of the journey and not a reason to quit. Each mistake or failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. The key is to reflect on these moments, learn from them, and continue moving forward. One of the most powerful tools in overcoming resistance is building a routine. When you integrate growth into your daily routine, it becomes easier to stay consistent. A routine removes the decision-making process and ensures that you stay on track, even when you don't feel motivated. The more you stick to your routine, the more it becomes a part of your life. Eventually, showing up for your growth goals will feel as natural as brushing your teeth. It's also crucial to track your progress. Keeping track of your efforts allows you to see how far you've come, which can be a huge motivator. Sometimes, when you're in the middle of the journey, it's hard to see how much progress you've made. But by tracking your actions and celebrating small wins, you remind yourself that you are moving in the right direction. Tracking progress also helps you stay accountable to your goals, which is essential for building consistency. At the end of the day, overcoming resistance and building consistency is about choosing to show up for yourself, even when it feels hard. It's about taking small, consistent actions every day that move you closer to your goals. As you continue to push through resistance, you will develop the strength, discipline, and resilience needed to succeed. Growth doesn't happen by waiting for the perfect moment. It happens when you decide to act, even when it's uncomfortable. So, embrace the challenge, commit to consistency, and trust that each small step is bringing you closer to the person you want to become. The power of reflection, learning from mistakes, and growing every day. Personal growth is not just about pushing forward with a relentless drive. It also involves looking back, reflecting on your actions, and learning from your experiences. Reflection is often overlooked in the quest for improvement, but it is a powerful tool for growth. If you want to get better every day, it's essential to take the time to reflect on your past actions, understand where you've made mistakes, and use those insights to adjust your future behavior. Reflection helps you take control of your life by turning your mistakes into valuable lessons that can guide you on your journey to success. Many people carry the weight of their mistakes around without ever truly understanding them. They feel bad for a moment, then quickly move on, hoping the negative feelings will fade. However, this avoidance prevents real growth from happening. Mistakes are not something to be ashamed of. They are an inevitable part of life. The key is to reflect on them deeply, analyze what went wrong, and use that knowledge to make better decisions in the future. Without reflection, you risk repeating the same mistakes, which keeps you stuck in old patterns. One of the biggest challenges of reflection is confronting the truth about our behavior. It's uncomfortable to admit when we've made mistakes, and even more uncomfortable to acknowledge the negative habits or thought patterns that cause them. However, growth doesn't come from avoiding discomfort. It comes from facing the truth and using it to fuel personal change. You can't improve what you don't confront, and the more honest you are with yourself, the faster you'll be able to make meaningful changes in your life. When you reflect on your actions, ask yourself the hard questions. What did I do well today? What could I have done better? What triggered my negative behavior? Where did I fall short of my expectations? These questions may sting, but they are necessary for growth. Avoiding these questions only keeps you in a cycle of denial and stagnation. By taking the time to answer them honestly, you begin to understand your own patterns, which allows you to make intentional changes moving forward. Mistakes are not proof of failure. They are proof that you are trying. When you make a mistake, it means you are in motion. You are actively engaging with life and learning from your experiences. The value of a mistake is not in the error itself, but in the lessons you extract from it. Reflection allows you to learn from your mistakes so that you don't keep making the same ones. It's through this process that you develop wisdom, resilience, and the ability to handle challenges with greater skill. It's important to remember that reflection is not about beating yourself up or focusing on your shortcomings. It's about taking responsibility for your actions and using that responsibility to make better choices. When you reflect, do so with a mindset of self-improvement. This means avoiding self-criticism and instead focusing on how you can do better in the future. Self-reflection is about growth, not shame. It's a practice of understanding yourself better, which leads to greater emotional intelligence and decision-making ability. Incorporating reflection into your daily routine can transform your growth process. You don't have to wait until something goes wrong to reflect. Make it a habit to reflect on both your successes and your setbacks. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to sit down and go over your actions. What went well? What could you have handled differently? Reflecting in real time prevents mistakes from going unnoticed, and it also allows you to celebrate the small wins. By reviewing both the positive and the negative, you reinforce a growth mindset that encourages learning from all experiences. Reflection also helps you gain clarity. When you reflect on your day or a particular situation, you begin to notice patterns in your thoughts and behaviors that you might not have seen before. These patterns can reveal areas of your life where you need to improve or grow. And they can also highlight strengths that you should continue to nurture. By paying attention to the subtle signals your mind and body are giving you, reflection helps you make conscious decisions rather than reacting impulsively. Another crucial aspect of reflection is that it allows you to learn from other people's feedback. We often overlook the insights others offer because they can feel uncomfortable or critical. However, feedback is a valuable tool for growth, and reflection helps you process it constructively. Instead of getting defensive or shutting down, take the time to consider the feedback you receive. Ask yourself how it aligns with your own reflections, and look for ways to apply it to your development. The most successful people are those who can take criticism and use it as a tool for improvement rather than a blow to their ego. Reflection is also a process of recognizing your emotions and how they influence your decisions. If you find yourself reacting negatively in certain situations, take a step back and reflect on why. Are your emotions clouding your judgment? Are you letting fear, frustration, or anxiety drive your behavior? Recognizing emotional triggers is a critical part of self-awareness and can help you make better choices moving forward. Emotional intelligence, developed through reflection, gives you the ability to control your responses and make decisions that align with your long-term goals. To make reflection a habit, set aside a specific time each day to engage in this practice. It could be in the morning, reviewing the previous day's events, or at night, reflecting on the events that have just occurred. The key is to be consistent and make it an integral part of your daily routine. Over time, reflection will become second nature, and you'll find that it guides your actions more effectively than if you were simply reacting to life's events. Self-reflection also teaches you the importance of humility. It requires you to be honest with yourself, to admit when you're wrong, and to recognize areas where you need to improve. Humility is the foundation of growth because it allows you to remain open to learning. Those who are unwilling to reflect often find themselves stagnating because they believe they have nothing more to learn. Humility, however, allows you to approach life with a sense of curiosity and openness, which accelerates personal development. Reflection is a daily practice that, when done consistently, leads to profound transformation. It doesn't matter how many mistakes you make, as long as you reflect on them and learn from them. By making reflection a part of your daily routine, you gain insight into your own behavior, increase your emotional intelligence, and develop a deeper sense of self-awareness. As you continue to reflect on your actions and adjust your behavior, you will begin to see growth in all areas of your life, professionally, personally, and emotionally. In conclusion, the process of reflection is not just about looking back on your mistakes. It's about learning from them and using those lessons to improve. It is through reflection that you gain the clarity and self-awareness needed to make intentional changes and build a better version of yourself every day. So make reflection a priority in your life and watch as it transforms your personal growth journey. The power of consistency, improving through focused practice. When it comes to personal growth, the idea of improvement can often feel overwhelming. Many people set broad, ambitious goals, hoping to transform their entire lives at once. However, the reality is that real, lasting growth doesn't come from trying to do everything at once. Instead, it comes from focusing on one thing at a time and practicing it consistently. The power of consistency cannot be overstated. It's the foundation for gradual improvement. Whether you're trying to excel in a specific skill, build a healthier lifestyle, or simply become a more disciplined person, one of the most common mistakes people make in their pursuit of growth is spreading themselves too thin. They try to improve in multiple areas at once, juggling too many goals and tasks simultaneously. While it's natural to want to become the best version of yourself in every area of life, the reality is that true mastery comes from focusing on one thing and dedicating yourself to consistent practice. Trying to achieve everything at once leads to burnout and frustration, whereas committing to one skill or area of improvement allows you to see tangible results and build real progress. Consistency is the key to long-term growth. It's the small, steady steps you take every day that compound over time to create lasting change. Whether it's improving your physical fitness, learning a new language, or mastering a new hobby, the key to progress is consistency. Instead of getting discouraged by slow progress, remember that every small action you take is a building block for something bigger. In the beginning, improvements may seem small and insignificant, but as you continue to show up and put in the effort, you will begin to see meaningful results. The process of improvement doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, and the key to success lies in daily practice. For example, if you want to get better at playing the guitar, you don't need to aim to master the entire instrument in a week. Instead, commit to practicing for a set amount of time each day. The more you practice, the more your muscle memory develops and your skills improve. This consistent effort over weeks, months, and even years leads to mastery. The same concept applies to any area of your life where you want to see improvement. The key to consistent practice is making it a daily habit. Once you make an activity or behavior a habit, it becomes second nature. This is why it's essential to choose one skill or area of improvement and focus your energy on that. By dedicating yourself to a single goal, you avoid the temptation to switch focus every time you feel stuck or frustrated. A focused approach ensures that your efforts are aligned with your larger goals, and this focus ultimately makes the improvement process feel more manageable. It's also important to be patient with yourself during this process. Growth is rarely linear, and there will be days when progress feels slow or even non-existent. It's easy to become impatient when you don't see immediate results, but remember that growth takes time. Consistency is what creates momentum, and as long as you continue showing up, even on the difficult days, progress will come. It's essential to trust the process and understand that small, consistent efforts eventually lead to significant results. One of the most powerful aspects of focusing on a single skill is the way it builds discipline. Discipline is often seen as a trait that some people have and others don't. But the truth is, discipline is developed through practice and commitment. When you commit to practicing a skill every day, you are actively building your discipline. You are training your mind and body to push through discomfort and stay focused on the task at hand. Discipline doesn't come from motivation. It comes from making the decision to take action, regardless of how you feel in the moment. As you build discipline, you also develop greater confidence in your abilities. Consistent practice reinforces the belief that you can improve. Each small step forward is a victory, and as you see your progress, your self-esteem and belief in your ability to achieve your goals grow stronger. The more you practice, the more you trust yourself. And this trust becomes the foundation for tackling even more difficult challenges in the future. Another important benefit of focusing on one skill at a time is that it helps you develop a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset is essential for overcoming obstacles and challenges because it enables you to view difficulties as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as signs of failure. When you focus on one skill and practice it consistently, you're not just improving in that area, you're also cultivating a mindset that embraces challenges, learning, and progress. It's also worth noting that consistent practice can help you develop better time management skills. When you commit to daily practice, you start to prioritize your time in a way that aligns with your goals. You begin to understand that if you want to get better, you need to dedicate time to practice regularly. And this realization helps you become more organized and focused with your time. As you continue to make progress, you'll also develop a deeper appreciation for the effort that goes into mastering any skill. One of the most effective ways to maintain consistency in practice is by setting up a routine. A routine helps you stay on track and ensures that you make time for practice every day, regardless of how busy you are. Routines remove the need for decision-making and make it easier to stick to your commitments. When practicing becomes a part of your daily routine, it feels like a natural part of your day, and you're less likely to skip it. Tracking your progress is also crucial when practicing a skill consistently. Keeping track of your improvements allows you to see how far you've come, which can be incredibly motivating. It also helps you identify areas where you may need to adjust your approach. Tracking your progress provides a visual representation of your efforts, and seeing how much you've achieved can encourage you to continue practicing. In conclusion, the key to improvement is consistency. Focusing on one skill at a time and committing to daily practice allows you to see gradual, lasting improvement. While the journey may be slow, consistent effort compounds over time and leads to mastery. Discipline, confidence, and a growth mindset all come from this process of regular practice. By dedicating yourself to one goal and practicing it every day, You'll not only improve that skill, but also develop the habits and mindset necessary for long-term success. Embracing feedback. How to use it for personal growth. Feedback is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth, yet it is often one of the most underused and feared resources. Most people avoid feedback, whether it's from colleagues, friends, or mentors, because they perceive it as criticism. However, the truth is that feedback is an essential part of the learning process. It's a mirror that shows us areas of improvement, helping us understand where we are excelling and where we need to adjust. Embracing feedback rather than fearing it is one of the most effective ways to accelerate personal growth. Most people don't ask for feedback, mainly because it feels uncomfortable. It's human nature to want to be validated and to avoid anything that makes us feel inadequate. We prefer to hear positive things about ourselves. And when we're faced with feedback that highlights areas for improvement, we might feel defensive or even discouraged. However, avoiding feedback is a choice that holds us back from reaching our full potential. Growth doesn't happen in isolation. It happens when we open ourselves up to constructive criticism and use it to better ourselves. One of the key aspects of receiving feedback is changing our mindset about it. Feedback is not a judgment of who we are as a person. Instead, it's an evaluation of what we do, our actions, behaviors, or results. It's important to understand that feedback is not a personal attack, but an opportunity to learn and improve. When you approach feedback with this perspective, it becomes much easier to handle, no matter how tough it may seem. Feedback provides us with valuable information that we might not be able to see on our own. We all have blind spots, areas where we are unaware of our behaviors or actions and how they impact others. These blind spots can prevent us from growing, as we may not realize the adjustments we need to make. Feedback acts as a mirror, revealing these blind spots so we can address them. Without it, we might continue to make the same mistakes or repeat old habits that hinder our growth. It's also essential to recognize that feedback is not always easy to hear. It can be difficult to accept criticism, especially when we've put in a lot of effort or are deeply invested in a particular task. However, it's important to remember that difficult feedback is not a reflection of our worth. It's simply a tool for improvement. By accepting feedback gracefully, we signal that we are open to growth and willing to learn from our mistakes. Seeking feedback is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It requires humility to admit that we don't have all the answers. And it takes courage to be vulnerable enough to ask for feedback. People who grow the fastest aren't necessarily the most talented or the most intelligent. They are the ones who are willing to receive honest input from others and make changes based on it. In fact, the ability to seek and apply feedback is one of the most important skills you can develop on your path to success. To truly benefit from feedback, you need to be open to hearing it without becoming defensive. When you receive feedback, avoid the temptation to justify your actions or defend yourself. Instead, listen with an open mind. Take note of what is being said and reflect on it. Sometimes, feedback can be vague or unclear, so it's helpful to ask clarifying questions to ensure that you understand what needs to be improved. Once you have a clear understanding, think about how you can apply the feedback to your actions and behavior. It's also crucial to view feedback as an ongoing process. Feedback isn't something you ask for once and then never revisit. It's a continuous cycle of receiving input, applying it, and then seeking more feedback as you grow. Regularly, asking for feedback helps you stay on track and ensures that you are always aware of areas where you can improve. It's not just about receiving feedback after a project or event. It's about creating a feedback loop that fosters continuous learning. When asking for feedback, it's important to approach it with the right attitude. Don't just ask for feedback when things go wrong or when you're feeling uncertain. Instead, seek out feedback regularly, even when things are going well. Asking for feedback on your strengths is just as important as asking about areas for improvement. This helps you understand what you're doing, right, so that you can keep doing it and build on it. Knowing your strengths can also boost your confidence, making it easier to address your weaknesses. The process of receiving feedback isn't just about improving yourself. It's also about building better relationships. When you ask for feedback and act on it, you demonstrate to others that you value their opinions and are committed to growing. This can strengthen your professional and personal relationships by fostering trust and mutual respect. People are more likely to invest in you when they see that you are dedicated to self-improvement and open to constructive criticism. Another critical aspect of feedback is recognizing when it's time to act on it. Feedback is useless if you don't apply it. Once you receive feedback, take the time to reflect on it, make a plan for improvement, and take action. Whether it's adjusting your communication style, improving your work habits, or changing your approach to a project, it's important to actively work on implementing the changes suggested through feedback. The more you act on feedback, the more you will see progress, and the more you will build your ability to adapt and grow. Feedback also helps you build resilience. When you seek feedback and use it to improve, you develop a thicker skin. You learn not to take criticism personally, and you start viewing setbacks as opportunities for growth. This mindset shift is essential for building long-term success, as it enables you to stay focused on your goals and keep moving forward despite challenges. In conclusion, feedback is an invaluable tool for personal and professional growth. By seeking and embracing feedback, you open yourself up to a world of opportunities for improvement. It allows you to identify your blind spots, correct your mistakes, and enhance your strengths. The key is to approach feedback with humility, openness, and a willingness to learn. When you make feedback a regular part of your growth process, you will not only improve in the areas that matter most, but also build stronger relationships and greater resilience along the way. So, embrace feedback, learn from it, and use it to shape a better version of yourself every day. The power of continuous learning. How daily education fuels growth. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to become complacent, to fall into a routine where we stop challenging our minds and seeking new knowledge. Many of us get caught up in the busyness of life, focusing on our immediate tasks and forgetting the importance of continuous learning. Yet, if you want to truly grow and improve, one of the most powerful habits you can cultivate is the practice of learning something new every single day. Whether it's reading, watching an educational video, listening to a podcast, or engaging in any other form of learning, investing time in expanding your knowledge daily can drastically enhance your personal and professional growth. The idea of daily learning is not about becoming an expert in a single subject overnight. Rather, it's about making small, consistent investments in your intellectual growth. These small efforts compound over time, gradually increasing your knowledge base and honing your skills. Just like physical exercise, learning is a muscle that needs to be exercised regularly. The more you engage with new information, the sharper your mind becomes, and the more prepared you are to tackle challenges. Daily learning doesn't require hours of studying or extensive research. You don't need to dedicate your entire day to reading long books or attending seminars. Even taking just 10 or 15 minutes a day to read a chapter of a book, watch an educational video, or listen to a podcast can be incredibly impactful. The key is consistency. It's the small, everyday moments of learning that add up over time and create lasting change in your life. One of the greatest benefits of daily learning is the way it keeps your mind sharp and engaged. When we stop learning, our brains can become stagnant, and we lose the ability to think critically or solve problems effectively. Regularly engaging with new ideas and concepts helps to keep your mind flexible and adaptable, allowing you to approach problems with fresh perspectives. By exposing yourself to new information each day, you train your brain to think creatively, analyze complex ideas, and make better decisions. Moreover, daily learning encourages intellectual curiosity. In a world where it's easy to become distracted by endless entertainment options, it's important to remember that learning is an ongoing process. Every day presents an opportunity to dive deeper into topics that interest you, challenge your assumptions, and expand your understanding of the world. By making learning a priority, you actively cultivate a mindset of curiosity and exploration. This not only helps you grow personally, but it also increases your ability to contribute meaningfully in conversations, at work, and in your personal relationships. One of the most powerful ways to learn is to engage with material that challenges you, something that pushes you to think outside your comfort zone. It's easy to gravitate toward content that reinforces what you already know, but true growth happens when you expose yourself to ideas that challenge your thinking. Whether it's a difficult book, a thought-provoking documentary, or a discussion with someone who holds different viewpoints, the key is to choose learning material that stretches your mind. This type of learning is uncomfortable at times, but it is through this discomfort that we experience the greatest growth. In addition to broadening your knowledge, daily learning also helps you acquire new skills. In today's ever-evolving world, the ability to adapt and acquire new skills is more important than ever. Whether you're learning a new language, improving your communication skills, or mastering a technical ability, continuous learning helps you stay competitive and adaptable. By dedicating time to develop new skills each day, you improve your career prospects, build confidence, and position yourself for greater success. It's important to remember that learning isn't limited to formal education or structured environments. Every experience can be a learning opportunity. For instance, You can learn from your interactions with others, from solving problems at work, or from the mistakes you make along the way. Every day is an opportunity to learn from the world around you, to apply your knowledge, and to reflect on how you can improve. This approach allows you to gain practical, real-world insights that go far beyond textbook knowledge. One of the biggest challenges people face when it comes to learning is finding time in their busy schedules. With the demands of work, family, and personal life, it can feel impossible to fit in even a few minutes of learning each day. However, the key is to prioritize learning and make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Set aside dedicated time each day, whether it's in the morning, during your lunch break, or before bed, to engage with educational material. Treat this time with the same importance as any other meeting or obligation. When learning becomes a part of your daily schedule, it becomes a habit, and over time, it will become second nature. Another effective way to incorporate learning into your daily life is by diversifying the formats in which you engage with new knowledge. Reading is a great way to learn, but it's not the only method. Podcasts, audiobooks, online courses, webinars, and even discussions with peers and mentors are all excellent ways to expand your knowledge. By mixing up the formats and types of content you consume, you keep your learning experience fresh and engaging. This variety also helps reinforce the information you're learning as you engage with it in different ways. Moreover, learning something new every day doesn't have to be complicated or overwhelming. It could be as simple as watching a short tutorial, listening to a 10-minute podcast, or reading an article on a topic you're curious about. The key is to make it a consistent habit. Even small doses of learning, when practiced every day, can have a significant impact on your growth over time. It's also helpful to track your learning progress. Keeping a journal or making notes about the things you've learned can reinforce the material and help you remember it better. Reflecting on what you've learned each day gives you a sense of accomplishment and motivates you to continue your learning journey. By tracking your progress, you also gain a clearer understanding of how far you've come and identify areas where you might want to focus more attention. The ultimate goal of daily learning is not just to accumulate information, but to transform that knowledge into wisdom. Learning should be an active process that encourages you to apply what you've learned to your life and make positive changes. As you continue to learn, you'll gain a deeper understanding of yourself, the world around you, and how you can contribute to it. Daily learning is the key to becoming a better, more knowledgeable, and more adaptable person. In conclusion, the habit of daily learning is one of the most powerful tools for personal growth. It keeps your mind sharp, challenges your thinking, and helps you acquire new skills. Whether you're learning through reading, listening, or engaging in real-life experiences, the key is consistency. By making learning a priority and dedicating a small amount of time each day to expanding your knowledge, you set yourself on a path to continuous growth and success. So, make learning a non-negotiable part of your life and watch as it transforms the way you think, work, and live. The importance of tracking progress and celebrating small wins. The path to personal growth and improvement is not always easy to see. While we often set big goals and envision dramatic transformations, the reality is that growth happens in small, incremental steps. These small victories, when acknowledged and celebrated, have a profound impact on our motivation and progress. That's why tracking your progress and recognizing even the smallest achievements are essential practices in maintaining momentum and achieving long-term success. Many people make the mistake of focusing solely on the end result, the ultimate goal they want to achieve, without acknowledging the smaller steps along the way. This can lead to frustration, as the progress seems slow, and the big picture may feel too far out of reach. The truth is that success is built on the foundation of small wins. By taking the time to track your progress and celebrate even minor achievements, you reinforce positive behaviors and create a sense of accomplishment that propels you forward. Tracking your progress serves as a visual reminder of how far you've come. Often, when we're in the midst of a challenge, it's difficult to see how much progress we've made. We might feel stuck or discouraged, not realizing that we've been improving, albeit slowly. Keeping track of your efforts, whether through a journal, an app, or a simple checklist, allows you to see the concrete steps you've taken and the distance you've covered. This visual representation of your journey gives you a clearer perspective and helps you stay motivated, even on the days when progress feels minimal. Tracking progress is also a powerful tool for maintaining focus and direction. When you break down your larger goals into smaller, measurable steps, it becomes easier to see which areas need more attention and where you've excelled. It helps you assess what's working and what needs adjustment. Without a system for tracking, you may find yourself guessing or assuming what's working, which can waste time and energy. With a clear record of your actions, you can make informed decisions about how to move forward and continue improving. Another key benefit of tracking your progress is the ability to identify patterns. By looking at your progress over time, you begin to notice what behaviors, habits, or routines lead to success. You may discover that your most productive days happen when you get enough sleep, eat nutritious food, or take a few minutes to meditate in the morning. Recognizing these patterns helps you understand the factors that contribute to your success, and you can use this knowledge to optimize your efforts moving forward. Similarly, tracking your setbacks allows you to see what might be holding you back, such as distractions, lack of motivation, or poor planning. With this information, you can make adjustments to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Celebrating small wins is just as crucial as tracking progress. Too often, people dismiss minor achievements and only recognize success when they reach their ultimate goal. However, it's the small wins that keep us going. Every time you accomplish something, whether it's completing a difficult task, staying disciplined for a week, or hitting a minor milestone, it's important to take a moment to acknowledge and celebrate that achievement. This helps reinforce the idea that progress is being made and motivates you to keep pushing forward. It also builds confidence and a sense of accomplishment, which are key drivers of further success. Celebrating small wins doesn't mean being complacent or resting on your laurels. It's about recognizing that every step forward, no matter how small, is part of the larger journey. When you celebrate these wins, you create a positive feedback loop. Your brain releases feel-good chemicals, such as dopamine, which reinforce the behavior and make you more likely to repeat it. This cycle of acknowledgement and reinforcement helps build the momentum needed to continue your progress, even when the road ahead feels long. Another benefit of celebrating small wins is that it helps you stay present in the moment. Often, we get so focused on the final destination that we forget to appreciate the progress we've made along the way. By celebrating small successes, you give yourself permission to feel proud of what you've accomplished in the here and now. This mindfulness helps prevent burnout and frustration, as it encourages you to focus on the progress rather than the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Tracking your progress and celebrating small wins also strengthens your resilience. The road to achieving big goals is rarely a smooth one. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments of self-doubt. However, by consistently tracking and acknowledging your progress, you build a sense of accomplishment that strengthens your resolve. When setbacks occur, you can look back at how far you've come and remind yourself that progress isn't always linear. This perspective helps you stay focused on the long-term journey rather than getting discouraged by temporary obstacles. It's important to remember that the process of tracking progress and celebrating small wins doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the simpler, the better. Whether you prefer writing in a journal, using a habit tracking app, or creating a simple checklist, the most important thing is that you do it consistently. Find a method that works for you and make it a regular part of your routine. This practice doesn't have to take up a lot of time, but it can have a huge impact on your overall mindset and progress. In addition to tracking your personal progress, it can also be helpful to share your achievements with others. Sharing your successes with friends, family, or colleagues can increase your sense of accountability and motivation. It can also inspire others to pursue their own goals and create a culture of growth and positivity. When you celebrate your small wins with others, you create a support system that encourages everyone involved to continue progressing. In conclusion, tracking progress and celebrating small wins are essential practices in achieving long-term growth and success. These habits help you stay focused, motivated, and resilient even when progress feels slow. By consistently acknowledging and celebrating your achievements, you reinforce positive behaviors and create a sense of momentum that propels you forward. So, take the time to track your progress, no matter how small, and make sure to celebrate each win along the way. These small actions will build the foundation for lasting success and help you stay on track toward your ultimate goals. Transforming your inner dialogue. The power of positive affirmations. One of the most significant factors influencing our personal growth is the way we talk to ourselves. The inner dialogue that we carry in our minds can either empower us or hold us back. Negative self-talk, filled with doubt, criticism, and fear, can paralyze us, keeping us stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage. On the other hand, positive affirmations, simple, positive statements about ourselves, have the power to shift our mindset, boost our confidence, and enable us to move forward in life. By consciously replacing negative thoughts with affirming, constructive ones, we can drastically transform how we see ourselves and our potential. Negative self-talk is a pervasive force that affects nearly everyone. It manifests in thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I always fail, or I'll never be able to do this. These negative messages can become so ingrained in our minds that we start to believe them as truth. When we constantly tell ourselves that we're not capable, we start to limit our potential, avoiding challenges and opportunities for growth. It's essential to recognize that these thoughts are not facts. They are simply learned patterns of thinking that can be unlearned with effort and intention. The first step in overcoming negative self-talk is awareness. Most people go through their day without paying much attention to the things they say to themselves. Negative thoughts often run on autopilot, influencing our behavior and decision-making without us even realizing it. To begin the process of change, it's important to start noticing these thoughts. Pay attention to your internal dialogue, especially when you're facing a challenge or trying something new. Are you telling yourself that you can't do it? Are you focusing on what might go wrong rather than what could go right? Becoming aware of these thoughts is the first step in shifting them. Once you've identified your negative self-talk, the next step is to challenge it. Ask yourself whether these thoughts are truly accurate or helpful. Most of the time, negative self-talk is based on fear, past failures, or self-doubt, rather than any objective truth. For example, you might think, I'm terrible at public speaking, but that thought is often based on a past experience rather than an accurate reflection of your abilities. By recognizing that these thoughts are just stories your mind is telling you, you can start to replace them with more empowering beliefs. This is where positive affirmations come in. Affirmations are simple, positive statements that counteract negative beliefs and reinforce a more supportive, empowering mindset. Instead of telling yourself, I'm not good enough, try saying, I am capable and I can handle this. Instead of focusing on past mistakes, say, every mistake is an opportunity to learn and improve. Positive affirmations help redirect your focus from your limitations to your strengths and potential. They encourage you to believe in your ability to succeed and overcome challenges. It's important to note that affirmations should be specific and realistic. Vague statements like, I'm great, might feel disconnected if you don't truly believe them. Instead, focus on affirmations that align with your current goals and areas where you want to grow. For instance, if you're trying to build confidence in your abilities, you might say, I am confident and capable of achieving my goals. If you're working on improving your communication skills, try affirming, I communicate clearly and effectively with others. These specific affirmations feel more grounded and believable, making it easier to internalize them. The key to making affirmations work is repetition. Like any new habit, using positive affirmations consistently helps reinforce their message and create lasting change. Start your day by repeating your affirmations aloud or in your mind. When you encounter a challenging situation, repeat them to yourself to stay focused and confident. The more you use affirmations, the more they become a natural part of your thinking, gradually replacing the negative patterns that once held you back. Another powerful tool in transforming your inner dialogue is combining positive affirmations with action. Simply saying affirmations without taking action can feel hollow. To make your affirmations truly powerful, back them up with real steps toward your goals. If your affirmation is, "I am confident and capable of achieving my goals," then take concrete actions that reflect that belief, such as speaking up in a meeting or tackling a difficult task you've been avoiding. When you follow through with actions that align with your affirmations, it reinforces the message that you are capable and worthy of success. It's also helpful to visualize your success while using affirmations. Imagine yourself succeeding in your goals, whether it's acing a presentation, running a race, or having a productive conversation. Visualizing success while repeating your affirmations creates a stronger mental image of your abilities, reinforcing the belief that you can achieve what you set out to do. The combination of affirmations and visualization helps prime your mind for success, making it easier to take the necessary steps to reach your goals. Over time, positive affirmations begin to shift your mindset from one of self-doubt to one of self-empowerment. As you consistently practice affirmations, you start to develop a growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset shift allows you to approach challenges with a sense of possibility rather than fear. You stop seeing setbacks as failures and start viewing them as opportunities to learn and improve. It's important to remember that transformation takes time. Changing your inner dialogue doesn't happen overnight, and there will be moments when negative thoughts resurface. However, the more you practice positive affirmations, the easier it becomes to recognize and replace negative thoughts. The process of transforming your inner dialogue is ongoing, but with consistent effort, you'll begin to notice significant improvements in your confidence, mindset, and overall approach to life. In conclusion, positive affirmations are a powerful tool for overcoming negative self-talk and shifting your mindset toward growth and possibility. By becoming aware of your negative thoughts, challenging them, and replacing them with positive affirmations, you can transform your inner dialogue and create lasting change. Affirmations not only help you believe in your potential, but also motivate you to take action toward your goals. With consistency and practice, positive affirmations can help you build a more confident, resilient, and empowered version of yourself. The power of consistent action, turning intentions into reality. Many people have big dreams and aspirations, but the reality is that success is not achieved through wishing or planning alone. No matter how much you think about your goals, how detailed your plans are, or how passionate your intentions may be, nothing will change unless you take consistent action. Consistent action is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be in the future. It's through action, day in and day out, that you transform your aspirations into reality. Too often, people believe that simply thinking about their goals or preparing for them is enough. They make lists, write down their intentions, and talk about their dreams, but they fail to take the necessary steps to bring them to fruition. The truth is, success is not just about planning or dreaming. It's about doing. It's about moving forward with purpose, no matter how small the steps may be. Only through consistent action can you make tangible progress toward your goals. One of the biggest obstacles that prevent people from taking action is the fear of failure or imperfection. Many people are paralyzed by the idea that they must have everything figured out before they start. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the perfect plan to take action. However, the reality is that the perfect moment never arrives. Waiting for the perfect time to act is a trap that keeps people stuck. Growth happens when you begin, even if conditions aren't ideal or you don't have all the answers. The key is to take the first step and then continue taking action, no matter how imperfect it may seem. Action is what propels you forward. Without it, you remain stagnant and your dreams remain unfulfilled. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't is often the willingness to take action consistently. Success doesn't come from having great ideas or grand plans. It comes from putting those plans into motion and staying committed to the process, even when things get difficult. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and trusting that the small efforts you put in will eventually add up to significant results. One of the most powerful things about taking consistent action is that it builds momentum. At first, progress may seem slow, and you may question whether your efforts are making a difference. However, every action you take builds on the one before it, and over time, this cumulative effect creates momentum. The more you act, the more confident you become in your abilities, and the more you learn from your experiences. Momentum makes it easier to keep going, and before you know it, you'll find yourself moving closer and closer to your goals. Consistency in action is also a key factor in building discipline. Discipline is not something that comes easily to everyone, but it is a skill that can be developed through practice. By committing to taking action regularly, you strengthen your ability to stay focused, overcome distractions, and push through moments of doubt. The more you act, the more disciplined you become. Discipline helps you stick to your goals, even when you don't feel motivated, and it keeps you on track when life presents challenges. The more disciplined you become, the more likely you are to continue taking action, regardless of how difficult things may seem. While taking action is essential, it's also important to take focused and intentional action. Simply being busy is not the same as making progress. Many people fill their days with tasks and activities that don't contribute to their larger goals. It's not enough to take action in a haphazard way. The key is to focus on the actions that will bring you closer to your desired outcome. Prioritize the tasks that matter most and align with your long-term goals. By focusing on high-impact actions and avoiding distractions, you ensure that the effort you put in is meaningful and productive. Another aspect of consistent action is learning from mistakes and setbacks. No journey toward success is without its challenges. There will be times when things don't go as planned, when you fail, or when obstacles arise. However, these setbacks are not reasons to stop taking action. They are opportunities to learn and grow. Each failure teaches you something valuable, whether it's about your process, your approach, or your mindset. Embrace failure as part of the journey and use it as a stepping stone to improve your approach and try again. The key is to keep moving forward, learning from each experience, and adapting your strategy as needed. Consistency also plays a role in building confidence. The more you take action, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving your goals. Every small step forward builds your confidence and reinforces the belief that you can succeed. When you take consistent action, you begin to trust in your ability to overcome challenges and reach your objectives. This self-belief is crucial because confidence fuels further action. The more you believe in yourself, the more likely you are to take bold steps toward your goals. In addition to building confidence, consistent action helps you build resilience. The road to success is rarely smooth, and there will be moments when things don't go as planned. However, resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, keep going in the face of adversity, and maintain a positive attitude despite challenges. By taking consistent action, even when things are tough, you build the mental and emotional strength needed to keep moving forward. Resilience is a key factor in achieving long-term success because it allows you to stay focused on your goals, even in difficult times. One important thing to keep in mind is that consistent action doesn't mean working yourself into the ground. It's not about burning out or exhausting yourself in the pursuit of success. Instead, it's about finding a sustainable pace and committing to steady progress. Break your goals down into manageable steps and take action regularly without overwhelming yourself. Small, consistent actions taken over time lead to more lasting results than sporadic bursts of intense effort. In conclusion, consistent action is the key to turning your dreams into reality. No matter how big your goals are, you won't achieve them by simply thinking about them. You need to take action, one step at a time, every day. The more consistently you act, the more momentum, discipline, confidence, and resilience you build. Remember, success is not an overnight event. It's the result of continuous, focused action. So, stop waiting for the perfect moment and start taking action today. The journey may be challenging, but each step you take brings you closer to the life you want to create. Prioritizing health, the foundation for consistent personal growth. In the pursuit of personal and professional growth, we often overlook one crucial aspect: our health. It's easy to get caught up in our goals, to-do lists, and ambitions, neglecting the very foundation that allows us to achieve these things: our physical and mental well-being. Without proper sleep, nutrition, and exercise, all the hard work and effort we put into our goals can quickly become unsustainable. Prioritizing health is not just a luxury, but a necessity if you want to reach your full potential. When we take care of our bodies and minds, we set ourselves up for long-term success and ensure that our growth efforts are sustainable. The first element of prioritizing health is ensuring that we get enough rest. Sleep is often underestimated in its importance, yet it is one of the most critical factors for overall well-being and productivity. When we're sleep deprived, our minds become foggy, our decision-making suffers, and our ability to focus and concentrate diminishes. The lack of sleep also increases stress levels, affects our mood, and weakens our immune system, leaving us more susceptible to illness. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we can push through on little sleep, but this can only be sustained for so long before our performance begins to decline. To prioritize sleep, it's essential to establish a consistent sleep routine. Going to bed at the same time each night and waking up at the same time each morning helps regulate your body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. Create a calming bedtime routine to signal to your body that it's time to wind down. This can include turning off electronic devices, reading a book, or practicing relaxation techniques such as deep breathing or meditation. By ensuring that you get quality sleep, you provide your body and mind with the rest they need to function at their best. Nutrition is another vital component of health that directly impacts our ability to grow and succeed. What we eat affects not only our physical health, but also our mental clarity and emotional well-being. Poor eating habits, such as relying on processed foods or skipping meals, can lead to energy crashes, mood swings, and decreased concentration. On the other hand, eating a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats provides our bodies with the nutrients needed to function optimally. Proper nutrition supports brain function, enhances memory, and helps manage stress. Taking the time to plan and prepare nutritious meals can prevent us from falling into the trap of grabbing quick, unhealthy options. Meal prepping or having healthy snacks readily available ensures that you're fueling your body with the right nutrients throughout the day. Prioritizing nutrition not only helps improve physical health, but also boosts productivity, increases mental clarity, and supports emotional stability. When we feel physically well, we are better able to focus on our goals and take the actions needed to achieve them. Exercise is the third crucial pillar of health that supports personal growth. Regular physical activity not only helps maintain a healthy weight, but also promotes mental clarity and emotional resilience. Exercise releases endorphins, the body's natural mood boosters, which reduce stress and improve overall well-being. It also strengthens the heart, improves circulation, and increases energy levels, making it easier to stay focused and productive throughout the day. One of the common misconceptions about exercise is that it requires long hours at the gym or intense workouts. However, the truth is that even small amounts of exercise can have a significant impact on your health. Taking a walk, doing a few stretches, or engaging in bodyweight exercises for just 20 to 30 minutes a day can help boost energy levels, improve mood, and enhance overall fitness. The key is consistency. Incorporating physical activity into your daily routine ensures that you're keeping your body strong and prepared to take on the challenges of life. When it comes to exercise, it's important to find activities that you enjoy. If you're not a fan of running, try cycling, swimming, or taking a dance class. If you prefer a low-impact option, yoga or Pilates may be more suitable. The goal is to make exercise something you look forward to, rather than a chore. By making physical activity an enjoyable and consistent part of your day, you're giving yourself the energy and resilience to stay focused on your goals. While sleep, nutrition, and exercise form the foundation of good health, it's also important to consider stress management. Chronic stress can have detrimental effects on both physical and mental health, leading to burnout, anxiety, and depression. Learning how to manage stress effectively is crucial for maintaining overall well-being and ensuring that we can continue pursuing our goals without feeling overwhelmed. There are many ways to manage stress, including practicing mindfulness, meditation, or deep breathing exercises. Taking breaks throughout the day, engaging in a hobby, or spending time with loved ones are all great ways to recharge and reduce stress. It's essential to find strategies that work for you and make them a regular part of your routine. When you manage stress effectively, you maintain clarity, focus, and a positive outlook, all of which are necessary for continued growth. The key to prioritizing health is to view it as an investment in your future. When you take care of your body and mind, you create a strong foundation for achieving your goals. Without good health, even the most well thought out plans and strategies will fall short. By focusing on sleep, nutrition, exercise, and stress management, you ensure that you have the energy, clarity, and resilience needed to pursue your dreams and stay committed to your personal growth journey. It's also important to remember that prioritizing health doesn't mean striving for perfection. It's not about never eating junk food, exercising intensely every day, or getting 8 hours of sleep every night. The key is to make consistent, healthy choices more often than not. Don't strive for perfection. Aim for progress. Small improvements in your sleep habits, nutrition, and physical activity can make a big difference over time. In conclusion, prioritizing your health is essential for long-term success and personal growth. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, and stress management form the foundation of well-being, providing you with the energy and resilience needed to achieve your goals. When you take care of your body and mind, you set yourself up for a lifetime of growth, productivity, and fulfillment. So, make health a priority and watch as it becomes the cornerstone of your continued success. The importance of surrounding yourself with positive, challenging people. As we pursue personal and professional growth, the company we keep plays a crucial role in shaping our mindset, motivation, and habits. It's easy to get caught up in the comfort of familiar relationships, but if you want to accelerate your growth, it's essential to surround yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and hold you accountable. The right people can push you to become a better version of yourself, while the wrong ones can keep you stuck in old habits and prevent you from reaching your full potential. Our social circles have a significant impact on our beliefs, behaviors, and how we approach challenges. If you surround yourself with individuals who are constantly complaining, settling for mediocrity, and avoiding challenges, it's easy to fall into the same patterns. Your ambitions may shrink, and your energy may diminish, as negative attitudes are contagious. However, when you surround yourself with people who inspire you to be better, people who have high standards for themselves, and who are constantly working to improve, their energy and mindset rub off on you. You begin to see higher goals, bigger possibilities, and better ways to do things. It's not just about being around people who make you feel good, but rather people who challenge you to step out of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you are pushed to think differently, take risks, and expand your limits. The people you choose to spend your time with should encourage you to reach higher and to push past your limitations. They should ask hard questions, challenge your thinking, and hold you accountable for your goals. Being surrounded by individuals who challenge you to grow can be uncomfortable at times. It might mean having difficult conversations, facing your own weaknesses, or confronting areas where you need to improve. But this discomfort is essential for growth. If everyone around you always agrees with you and never challenges your assumptions, you risk staying stagnant and missing out on opportunities to learn and evolve. Healthy, constructive conflict and disagreement can be some of the most powerful forces for personal growth, as they help you expand your perspective and refine your ideas. One of the biggest benefits of surrounding yourself with growth-minded individuals is accountability. When you share your goals with others who care about your progress, you increase your commitment to those goals. It's much harder to procrastinate or give up when you know that someone is watching and expects you to follow through. Accountability partners, whether friends, mentors, or colleagues, help you stay on track, encourage you when you falter, and celebrate your successes along the way. It's also important to remember that the people you surround yourself with should not only challenge you, but also support you. Positive relationships are built on trust, respect, and mutual encouragement. The best people to surround yourself with are those who uplift you and celebrate your successes, no matter how small. They should be individuals who genuinely want the best for you and who are invested in your success. These people will encourage you to pursue your dreams, offer guidance when you need it, and help you navigate obstacles. In addition to being supportive and challenging, the right people should also offer a diverse range of perspectives. When you surround yourself with individuals who think differently from you, you open yourself up to new ideas, approaches, and ways of solving problems. Diversity of thought is crucial for growth because it forces you to step outside of your usual patterns of thinking and consider alternative viewpoints. By engaging with people who have different backgrounds, experiences, and opinions, you gain valuable insights that can help you grow personally and professionally. It's also important to evaluate your current relationships and assess whether they are helping or hindering your growth. Are the people in your life inspiring you to be better, or are they holding you back? This can be a difficult question to ask, especially if you've been friends with someone for a long time or have strong emotional ties to certain individuals. However, if someone consistently brings negativity, criticism, or discouragement into your life, it may be time to reevaluate that relationship. Toxic relationships can drain your energy and prevent you from moving forward. And sometimes, letting go of people who no longer serve your growth is necessary for your progress. That being said, surrounding yourself with the right people doesn't mean you should cut off everyone who doesn't align with your goals. It's about finding a balance. While it's important to be around individuals who challenge and support you, it's equally important to maintain relationships with people who care about you and your well-being, even if they don't share all of your ambitions or goals. These individuals can provide emotional support, grounding, and a sense of stability during your journey. Another way to surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you is by actively seeking out mentors or coaches. Mentors are individuals who have experience in the areas you want to grow in and who can offer valuable guidance, advice, and insight. A mentor can help you navigate challenges, avoid common mistakes, and accelerate your growth. Similarly, coaches can provide structure, accountability, and tailored advice to help you achieve your specific goals. Seeking out these relationships demonstrates a commitment to your own growth and allows you to learn from those who have already walked the path you are on. Ultimately, the people you surround yourself with will either propel you forward or hold you back. If you want to grow, it's essential to actively seek out relationships that challenge and inspire you. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better, who hold you accountable for your actions, and who provide the support and encouragement you need to keep moving forward. Seek out diverse perspectives and stay open to learning from others. Your network of relationships is one of the most powerful tools you have for personal growth. Use it wisely. In conclusion, building a supportive and challenging network is a key component of personal growth. The people you spend the most time with influence your mindset, your habits, and your actions. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire you to think bigger, aim higher, and push past your limitations. These relationships will hold you accountable, encourage you during tough times, and celebrate your wins along the way. So, take a look at your inner circle and make sure that the people around you are contributing to your growth rather than hindering it. Choose your relationships carefully and watch as they help you become the best version of yourself.